Hey guys, welcome to today's video where we are here for some speed reviews. I have some products that are new to the market. I have some products that are new to me. I've been using them for a while, testing them out, and I have some thoughts. So I want to share them with you because I want you to be able to make smart spending decisions for yourself and decide if these products are worth your money or not. If you are new, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, this is the place for you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, but why don't we go ahead and jump into these reviews. First up, I do want to say I don't typically review eyeshadow palettes in my speed reviews because I'm going to do a whole year-end ranking, but Natasha Denona, one of my favorite brands of all time, came out with the new Hyper Natural Face palette, and I just felt like I needed to talk about this because there's been a lot of buzz about this palette. You do have a bronzer and a blush shade, you have 5 eyeshadows, and this eyeshadow formula is supposed to be newer. Now, I do have a whole video trying this out, giving you my first impressions and thoughts, but I've used this several times since then. These eyeshadows are said to be like one and done shadows, eyeshadow toppers. They're not really meant to create like a whole look using all 5 of them. And I will say, Natasha Denona eyeshadows are my absolute favorite formula, but I am not a huge fan of this palette. In my personal opinion, I really feel like I could do without this palette. I don't hate it. I don't think it's bad. Am I ever gonna reach into these eyeshadows? I mean, not really. I reach into them because they're here, but I never find myself like desiring to reach into them. I reach into the bronzer most of all. I wouldn't even say it's my favorite bronzer. It is a little bit warmer. I kind of mix all 3 shades together, but then I find that I like to go in with another bronzer to blend it out because it can look a little harsh on my face at times, and I don't really reach for this bright bubblegum pink blush that often. So for this palette to be $69, is it really worth it in my opinion? I would say no. I feel like Natasha Denona has a ton of other eyeshadow palettes that are so much better. I love her Super Glow highlighter. I love a lot of what Natasha Denona has to offer, but this one, I really could pass on it. But a palette that I do think is worth the hype 100%, so glad to have it in my collection, is this highlighter palette from Lunar Beauty. This came in the Moonshroom collection, and this has 4 absolutely stunning highlighters in it. You do have a mirror, which is nice. This one I pretty much use as a blush topper, this Blossom shade, but it looks beautiful when I do top it on the apples of my cheeks over a blush. I don't really reach into sprinkle that often. I think that this would look great on a deeper skin tone, but I use these 2 highlighters a lot. It is the highlighter that I have on my face today. I have this one right here in Tink, right here on my cheeks. You can see this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the subtle. This is not for the weak, okay? If you want to be blinding, if you want to shine into outer space, if you want to look like a vampire from Twilight, this is the palette for you. It's absolutely stunning and amazing. Manny has created something that has so much shimmer and so much sparkle and so much shine without being glittery. I do not like a glittery highlight. I don't want glitter all over my face. And this palette really is full of sparkly, shiny, shimmery highlighters. I've been reaching for it every single day. I can't put it down. I absolutely love it. And Manny said people were asking for the highlighter palettes to come back. I can see why. I do have 2 primers. One I've actually talked about on my channel, but I don't think I've done a full review. And it is this e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I picked this up I think a few months ago, maybe around Christmas time, a little bit sooner, not too long after it came out, and I was wondering if this was going to be a dupe for my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. I will say, does it give me a similar effect? Sure. If you want to call it a dupe, it's kind of dupe-ish, but I still like the Tatcha better. I did just finish my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas and I went out and purchased another mini, and I do like that one a little bit better just because I feel like with the e.l.f. it's not quite as hydrating. It is still a hydrating primer, but it's not quite as hydrating as the Tatcha, and with this one I have to go in with a little bit more. So I will take one dot on my finger and put that on the sides of my face, and then take another dollop and put that on my forehead. I do feel like it gives me a smoothing effect, not quite as much as the Tatcha, but I do still like it. So if the Tatcha is out of your price range and you want something that's similar or dupeable, I think this is a great option. I'm going to continue to use it, but when I am getting ready for like an event or something where I want my makeup to look flawless, I would still pick the Tatcha over the e.l.f. But I like this one. Another primer that is new to me, I recently filmed a video where I was trying out your favorite influencers' favorite makeup products, and my friend Leah Janae told me about this One Size primer. This is the One Size Secure the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer. My friend Heather Austin also told me that I would really love this, and so when the Sephora VIB sale came, I knew that I wanted to try it out. I haven't tried much from One Size. I feel like a lot of the One Size products are geared toward oily skin. I have dry skin. Both Leah and Heather have oily skin and they love this, but they both thought, knowing that I have dry skin, that I would love this as well, and they were absolutely correct. I do feel like this is hydrating. When I put it on my face, I can feel the hydration, and it also does give me a glow. You'll be able to see in the demo, I feel like there looks like a glow to my skin. It is similar to the Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dewdrops, but I would say it is not quite as hydrating and not quite as glowy, but you do get some hydration, you do get some glow. The thing that's different about the One Size that you don't have with the Glow Recipe is that with the One Size, you do have that tacky base. So I feel like it's really going to help for the longevity of my makeup. I don't know that my Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dewdrops really do anything for the longevity of my makeup. It's more prep for my skin and hydration, whereas this one, I do feel like because of the tacky base, it's really going to stick onto my complexion products and make my makeup last. So I've been loving this. Also in that same video, my friend Betty Jean, she recommended the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I picked up the pink shade in light pink, and I have to say, I have not tried many drugstore powders, and I'm not someone who powders my whole face. I just powder underneath my eyes and my forehead wrinkles. I really like this powder. Again, dry skin, so I need something that is lightweight. I need something that is finely milled. I need something that's not going to be cakey, and this e.l.f. powder is like amazing, y'all. I would say it is very lightweight. It's not going to provide any extra coverage, but it's finely milled. It sets underneath my eyes and my forehead wrinkles. I can even put a little bit down underneath my contour, and it's not going to make my skin feel tight or dry or anything of the sort. And so I've really been enjoying this. And I did decide to get the light pink because it's a little bit brightening, and I feel like it does the job. Again, if you're looking for more coverage or looking for something that's going to soak up your oils, I don't know that this is the best bet, but my dry skin friends, you may love this one. I also recently picked up the Natasha Denona concealer. I have the shade N4. Everybody on the internet has been talking about this. Everybody. So I finally decided, you know what? I am in the market for a new concealer. I recently filmed a video where it was buy this, not that, and I was comparing this to the Pat McGrath concealer. So if you want to know about this in comparison, check that video out. But I do want to say overall, I like this concealer. I think N4 is a good shade match for me. It doesn't really do a ton of brightening. If I wanted more brightening, I'd maybe do N3 if you're a shade match to me, but it does cancel out dark circles. It is hydrating. It's not going to be a flat matte. It does have that serum texture where I feel like it gives me a nice amount of hydration and coverage. The one thing I will say about this one though, when I am struggling with my under eye dryness and eczema, I get patches of dry skin right underneath in these like little folds in my eyes. This does stick to that. I mean, can I blame it? No, like if you have eczema and dry patches, like of course product is gonna stick to it. When I'm not struggling with dryness, I do really love this one, but it does kind of irritate those dry patches. Just beware if you have eczema. Know that about this product. Otherwise, I do really enjoy it. I picked up a product from R.E.M. Beauty. This is the Send to Voicemail Satin Matte Bronzer. Now, friends, I talked about this in trying viral makeup products, so I am here to update you. I still think this is not a good shade match for me. I do not wear this bronzer on its own. It is not, it's really not that different from my skin tone. I like to use this in combination. Right now, I have it in combination with the Natasha Denona bronzer from the Hyper Natural palette. I like this one also with my Gucci bronzer because the Gucci bronzer I have in the shade 2 is a little bit deep for me. This really is creamy. I would say it's a satin matte. It's not going to give you any like sparkle or shimmer like a glowy bronzer would, but it's also not a flat matte. I find this to be a great buffing bronzer. When I have a little bit too much contour or it's a little bit too harsh, I like to get a big fluffy brush and kind of blend this around, but I'm never going to use this on its own. If I were to recommend this, I would say maybe get the next shade up, but I do feel like if I were to have had the next shade up, that I would enjoy it and use it as a bronzer. It's just hard to tell because I always use it in combination, but I'm typically a 2 bronzer kind of gal anyway, so it doesn't bother me. I have two blushes I want to talk to you about. The first one I also mentioned when I was trying that viral hyped up makeup, and it is the Haus Labs French Rosette or French Rosé shade. This blush itself is not new, this shade is new. And when I demoed this the first time, I mentioned that it was going to be like a nice sun-kissed type of blush, give you that like little sunburnt vibe. I still think that is true. This is a very, very pigmented blush, so I like to go in with a light hand, like tap in lightly, not for the heavy-handed, and put that on my cheeks. It does blend out nice. Again, it's a matte, so I do really enjoy that. I would definitely be interested in trying out more of the Haus Lab blushes because I really do like it, but seriously, a little bit goes a long way. The other blush that I have, I picked up during the Sephora VIB sale. It's this one from Rare Beauty. This is the Hope Powder Blush. And this is the one that has a little bit of a sheen. Like, is it a highlighter? Is it a blush? Is it a combo? I will say, you can see it in the demo better because I have highlighter on. This shade Hope is a blush shade for me. It is pigmented enough that on my fair skin, I can use it as a blush shade, but it does definitely have a sheen and a shine to it. And I would say even more than a satin. If you think of like the Buxa Wanderlust blushes, I have the shade Seychelles and I really like it, and it gives me more of a satin finish. This is a little bit more of a satin. It's not going to look like straight highlighter on my face. I like more of a bam in your face highlighter. But typically when I wear this blush, I don't wear highlighter because it is so glowy. If you struggle with texture on your skin or you're struggling with like breakouts or anything like that, this blush is going to emphasize that, but I do still like it. I have dry skin. I want to be glowy. I want to shine. So I do really, really enjoy this blush, and I have the shade Hope and I really like it. I would recommend it. I don't typically think of eyeshadow primer as being something that is very exciting, but y'all, my friend Jen Loves, she recommended this in that same influencer video. This is the Ulta Matte Eye Primer, and I was like, I mean, I haven't tried much from Ulta brand, and I don't really think I would try much from Ulta brand, but this is amazing. It is $12, but when I purchased it, it was half off. I got it for $6, and this has a nice tacky base. It's creamy going on. It has some pigment to it, but then when it sets down, it gets tacky, and I really feel like it makes my eyeshadow last. I've been using it every single day. Y'all, I think this is like my new favorite eyeshadow primer. I do have a couple lip products I want to talk about. One is the new lip liner. This is from LYS Speak Love in Soulful. My friend Erica Tesla, she recommended this to me in my influencer video, and I really like this as a deep, rich liner that's going to give me that ombre lip. I will say, this is a liner that you sharpen up. It is a wooden liner, and this can be a little tuggy on the lips. It's not creamy like the Natasha Denona. It's not creamy like the Charlotte Tilbury. It's not even as creamy as the MAC. I feel like the MAC lip liners that you sharpen, they are more of a drier formula, but they still glide on creamy. This one I do have to tug on the lips a little bit. I don't mind it. It's not uncomfortable. I do feel like it lasts long since it is more of a drier formula, but I do feel like there is some tugging going on. I enjoy this shade though. I like it for an ombre lip, and I mean, I'm gonna continue to use it. Last but not least, I do have 3 lippies from Ravie Beauty, which is Allie Glein's brand. I received these as part of my goodie bag when I went to the Creators and Friends holiday party in December. I've used these on my channel. I've talked about them on my channel, but now that I've had them for a couple months, I did have some thoughts and I wanted to share them with you. If you do enjoy like a pigmented balm, this gives me like pigmented balm vibes. It's pigmented like a lipstick and you can build it up, but it's very balmy. So the wear is not going to be there for very long. If you're eating and drinking, you're going to have that transfer. It gives you shine, more shine than a satin lipstick, but not quite as much shine as a gloss. It is very comfortable to wear. The one thing I will say about these though, I live in Texas, it is hot and humid, and I do not want to take these in my purse, leave them in my car, take them outside, because I'm afraid they're going to melt. They are so soft. I'm really enjoying the way that they feel and the comfort of them, but I am afraid that in this Texas humidity, they are going to melt. So I keep these inside. I don't find that there's something that I reach for often just because I don't typically reach for more of a balmy textured lipstick. But if you do like the pigment of a lipstick and the texture of a balm, I think you would really like these. I hope you found that helpful, friends. Those are just some of the products I've been trying lately. I felt like I had some updated thoughts. I wanted to let you know, I want you to be a thoughtful consumer. I want to let you know what is good on the market. That is what I am here for. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it and found it helpful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you've tried any of these products, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below, because I think it's helpful to hear from other people, like, what is your skin type? Where do you live? How do you feel about the product? Let us know so we can learn from each other. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.